Well, we have a bit of an update to the Activision story from this morning, specifically the one around Bobby Kotick and that explosive report that came out of the Wall Street Journal, going over a bunch of sources pointing towards Bobby Kotick having knowledge of most of the misconduct going on within Activision, even participating in blocking consequences from this misconduct to senior positions at places like Treyarch. Well, we had gone over Jim Ryan sending out an internal memo at Sony, and now it looks like he's being followed up by Phil Spencer at Microsoft, and things aren't looking very good right now for Activision. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure that like button helps out a ton. And if you're new here to the SpawnWave Plus channel, make sure you subscribe down below. So this is breaking from Jason Schreier over on Bloomberg, and it appears like things just continue to come out around this story. And I mentioned this was going to happen after we had that initial report, and then more and more things started popping up. It looked like, yes, basically all of the different outlets were going to start hammering this thing in, and we were going to see report after report after report come out as they dug deeper and deeper into, well, Bobby Kotick, Activision, and now even companies around them that are working with them, related to them in the video game space. We talked about Sony, who's had a lot of deals with Activision through Call of Duty, and obviously Microsoft, who has the Xbox. It's a big platform for Call of Duty to sell on. Well, we can see this again from Jason Schreier saying, Xbox chief says he's evaluating relationship with Activision. Microsoft Corp's head of Xbox said he's evaluating all aspects of our relationship with Activision Blizzard and making ongoing proactive adjustments in light of recent revelations at the video game publisher. Phil Spencer said he and the gaming leadership team are disturbed and deeply troubled by the horrific events and actions at Activision Blizzard. Also, of course, you take into account Bobby Kotick's pretty bad response to all of this, specifically that report that had come out. I mean, he didn't deny any of this stuff necessarily outright, just said, oh, it's inaccurate in a very broad sense, right? In fact, he actually confirmed different things like telling his assistant he was going to kill her, and I guess that was supposed to be in a joking manner. They said it was more hyperbole than anything else. But again, if you are a CEO with a private jet, you probably shouldn't be telling your assistant that you are going to kill them unless they have a nice day or something. So the fact that we see Sony and Microsoft, obviously companies that produce the biggest platforms that Call of Duty would sell on, the PlayStation and the Xbox, pushing back a bit and reevaluating their ongoing relationship and making adjustments. Well, you see things like this pop up where people are looking into this and wondering, okay, does this have to do with some of the information that's been coming out? Charlie Intel pointed out that Bloomberg reported yesterday that PlayStation CEO sent a note to Activision Blizzard about how they plan to address their internal situation, and it appears that PlayStation has now removed Vanguard from the featured section on their site. Now, this could be a few things. I mean, yes, it could be Sony said, well, we probably shouldn't be just advertising Activision and Call of Duty Vanguard, their latest release for the Call of Duty series, right on our PlayStation store, like immediately on the front page. When you log in, there it is, buy now, right? So maybe they figured, okay, we'll just take this down. It's still up on the PlayStation store. They haven't delisted it. It hasn't been cyberpunked or anything like that. But the fact that they're not willing to advertise it necessarily on their front store page says a lot. Now, this could also be a rotation of featured titles that could be happening here. Maybe it's time on the featured front page ran up as all this was going on. That'd be very coincidental, and Call of Duty is generally the biggest seller of the holidays, so I don't really know why Sony would remove a cash cow like that from their featured front page section. So I kind of lean in favor of this having to do with Sony distancing themselves somewhat from Activision Blizzard with the ongoing situation there with Bobby Kotick. Now, people are, of course, calling now, okay, look, Phil Spencer's called him out, Jim Ryan's called him out, both of which looking into their relationship, trying to figure out how this is going to be resolved or at least worked out there. A lot of people are calling for Bobby Kotick, obviously, to resign or be pushed out from Activision by the board of directors. The only problem is the board of directors is still on Bobby Kotick's side. In fact, I have a feeling they are hoping that this just blows over completely. And I see a lot of people wondering, why aren't they kicking him out? And I've explained this a lot, I feel like. It comes down to money. That's just the way it is with big corporation CEOs and board of directors. It comes down to who's making us the most money. And unfortunately, yes, Activision continues to make a lot of money despite them closing down studios that maybe you like the games were coming out of there, merging very talented studios like Vicarious Visions into Blizzard completely. Seems like they've just been swallowed up, and probably not getting another Tony Hawk game anytime soon, or Crash Bandicoot or anything like that. They still are making quite a bit of money because their games as a service projects continue producing money hand over fist. I mean, if you look at their most recent report, this was quarter 3, reported on November 2nd, they actually went up from last year in 2020. And that was a big year for most companies in gaming because it was a time where people were staying home and just overall revenue was inflated. In fact, most companies had to report, yeah, we're going to be down a bit because of that. Here, though, we see Activision actually gaining on last year. Operating cash flow, $521 million as compared to $196 million from the third quarter last year, making over $2 billion in revenue. The board of directors looking at that saying, well, maybe next week people won't be so hard on Bobby Kotick and they'll move on to the next thing. At least that's kind of how it appears from the outside right now. They're thinking about their wallet right now rather than the terrible look currently for Activision. To me, the most obvious move being separate from Bobby Kotick completely. Now, I don't know the inner workings of his contract, for example, the compensation maybe that had to be provided if they did completely kick him out of Activision. I'm sure he would leave with a pretty hefty amount of money. It's not like it's how it is for most people, where they say, clean up your desk, you're out. They're like, all right, clean up your nice suite and take this check for tens of millions of dollars on the way out. So it's going to come down to the bottom line being affected. And I will say, this is a good start, I think, for that to be happening, because if the heads at PlayStation and Xbox are having to send internal memos to their teams within PlayStation and Xbox, reassuring them that they are looking into this, yeah, it's kind of a problem for Activision then. And the fact that Call of Duty Vanguard appears to be underperforming badly, and I kind of figured it would underperform anyway because I just didn't see that much excitement or hype around Call of Duty Vanguard. It kind of seems like they might see the numbers come out for Call of Duty Vanguard and then go, you know what, maybe someone else can release a better Call of Duty game than what Bobby Kotick has done here. Because remember, he also took like all the studios and put them on this Call of Duty game along with Warzone to make sure it all got out on time. So I'm sure some projects that, who knows, maybe would have made them more money even as possible, got put to the side, or just more creative ventures that maybe could have set them up more long-term than the latest release of Call of Duty. We'll see more about that when we get the NPD reports, because obviously they're going to compare it to last year and last year's release for Call of Duty. But for me at this time, unless some massive story that's even more explosive than the most recent one we had comes out that shows even criminal activity from Bobby Kotick and he has to admit it and then resign immediately, something really bad comes out, I kind of still think the board of directors are just going to hope that this blows over. Bobby Kotick will just quietly, I guess, remain at Activision until either the company starts underperforming financially or, once again, something else pops up in the media. But I will say this, based on how quickly this is progressing and evolving, this entire story, you know the media is out there looking for that right now. But let me know what you guys think about all this down below. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.